Hey everybody, thank you for pressing play. In this video we're looking at this particular car here. This is a Honda Civic. It's a 1.6 diesel. The model is what's called a smart model, and my intention of this video basically is to show somebody out there that's looking for a really good car that's going to munch up a lot of mileage over the next 5-6 years with a decent level of spec, but something that's interesting to drive and something fuel efficient as well. Brian's my name, and in this video we're looking at this car here in terms of, we're going to look at the features on the outside of the car and the features on the inside of the car, and we're going to drive the car as well. One thing on this car though, I think it's really important to point out, this car has averaged 4.4 litres per 100 kilometres in its whole life so far. So the people that used to own it from brand new, they averaged 4.4 litres per 100 kilometres. If you're a bit old school like me, without going in and doing the calculation, I think that's like mid-60s or something miles per gallon, early 60s, something like that. That's the whole thing in this car. It's actually a nice car to drive, but it's super efficient, and I'll tell you why in the video. So like we're saying, there's actually good acceleration in the car. This is 120 brake horsepower. It's got 300 Newton meters of torque as well, so you can see as we're joining the motorway here, gets up to 100 kilometers an hour really easily, and it's quite an enjoyable car to drive. But for a lot of people, I think they're going to buy a car like this, they're going to cruise on the motorway a lot because they're planning on doing probably a lot of mileage, and that's why they're going for this diesel version here. It's also got some useful motorway related features, so things like cruise control, okay, that's pretty common on cars, but this one's adaptive. So once we set it in here, it'll actually lock onto the car in front, and if the car in front slows down, it will slow you down, and if they speed up, you will speed up once you've set the speed you want. And you can also use the cursor to speed up or slow down as well, and you can decide how far you want the car to stay behind the car in front, which is dead cool, I think. After that, it's also got things like a lane keep function, so again, in around the same area, we can set that over through here. And then as you can see in this case, there's two functions actually. One of them will warn you if you're going off out of the lanes, and this one will actively try and keep you in the lanes. So you see this, if I pull it to the left, over away from the road, I can't do it, it just keeps pulling me back to the centre. Similarly, over to the right, again, it pulls me back into the centre again, especially on long runs. That's dead handy if you're getting tired. Other useful things on the steering wheel in here is the control for the iMid. So the iMid's telling you things like average speed, fuel efficiency, how much fuel you've left in the car, things like the current speed zone. So if it sees a speed sign, it'll actually flash it up on the dash to tell you that you've gone past whatever speed sign it is. And that's dead handy again. If you're doing a lot of driving, you're going to miss the odd speed sign, so it's handy to have something that'll warn you. And actually it's got a speed limiter too. Okay, a lot of cars have that, but this one's intelligent. So if you come up to a speed sign, you see in this case here, we're going from 120 and 200, it'll actually detect it, and then it'll start warning you, and it'll reduce the power in the car until you've gone below the exact speed zone that you've gone into. So that's really cool. On the left hand side, the steering wheel over here then controls for radio and controls for Bluetooth for taking calls as well. So again, all useful stuff if you're doing a lot of driving. It's all really useful stuff. But you know what? It's a really cool looking car. When you drive up behind one of these at night time, you see the really big LED taillights on the rear. They're like nothing else on the road, really super distinctive. And even small features like there's two spoilers on the rear of the car, but they're actually there for aerodynamic reasons. They channel air off the rear of the car in the most aerodynamic way possible to increase fuel efficiency. But it's a cool looking car. When people look at these, it's nothing like a Golf or a Focus or an Astra. It's totally different. And you know what? It's nice to have something a bit different as well. You get sick of looking at some of the other bland kind of cars because they're so popular, I guess. Anyway, in through here, there is parking sensors on the back. The wheels are a nice diamond cut finish. What I mean by that is if you look at them closely, they're really shiny and reflective, so they look really cool. The headlights have these nice LED daytime running lights, and they're double optic as well, so you got different lights for fulls and dips, and they're automatic for daytime night themselves. Parking sensors on the front, and then the boot. It is super big. Again, we're back to pragmatism here. This boot is gigantic. We actually have one of these cars at home ourselves, and the boot is gigantic. Slide this back. Every year we go on holidays, you can jam so much stuff, mainly crap, but you can jam it into the back of the car, and if you drop the seats, there's a massive load area. In terms of the rear, there is actually speakers, tweeters and speakers in each door, which gives a good sound system. And then after that, this is a one owner car with probably very little use in the back, as the previous owner had mature children with their own cars, so I would imagine the back seats were probably used very little, and they're in really good condition. It's Sunday, by the way, just in case, that's why I'm dressed like a bit of an Egypt, but anyway, the size in the back, headroom is good. I've got three 3-point safety belts, I've got three head restraints behind me, I've got a kangaroo pocket in the back of the seat. Legroom is quite good, yeah, forget my skinny white legs, yes, it is Sunday, but it's quite good overall. Like I said to you, the theme of this car is complete pragmatism and practicality. Boot's good, you can fold it down, which is good, you can carry 3 adults in the back safely, and with space, it's all good. Getting into the front of the car then, electrics for windows and mirrors over through here, and tweeters and speakers again, so it's really good sound system. It looks really straightforward and plain, and you know what it is, and I actually like that. I've got radio functions, I've got media functions, and after that then, if I want, I've got my phone functions up here, which also relate to the steering wheel. It's really easy, it's really straightforward, and I've got a volume knob, which is so straightforward, I love it. After that then, there is heating controls down through here, so it's automated, so I can just tell the car what temperature I want, and it'll automatically get me to that temperature. There's also front and rear windscreen demisters and demisted wing mirrors as well if you want. A little bit of storage down through here, and you can pull wires down in here into this USB connector if you want for things like mobile phone or the USB stick I have here. The gear stick is absolutely lovely. We'll see that when we go driving on a back road. And around it there's other functions, so auto stop start, stop the engine running at traffic lights, econ to reduce how aggressive the cruise control and air conditioner is, brake hold here which stops you rolling backwards on hills, and the automatic handbrake that's underneath it as well. There is 2 drinks holders down here. A lot of people don't realise it. There's a second one, just pull this out and turn it around, and after that then there's some storage back through there, and the armrest is also movable and reclinable backwards. This car, one owner car, full Honda service history all the way through, and we're going to do the next service on the car, which is just about due as well. So it has a proper Honda service history all the way through, so there's definitely some peace of mind. Steering wheel is rake reach, so it goes in and out and up and down. And the driver's seat similarly has a height adjuster along there, so you can get a nice driving position. Here's the thing, this is the Smart model, and this one over here is what's called a Smart Plus. For me, the theme on this car is, on these Smart models, this is the entry model, and they're always the nicest car to drive. I don't care what anyone says. I've been selling cars for an awful long time, 20 years, and I always found the entry model is the sweetest of all the sweet cars to drive. And the only thing I can put it down to is they feel way more nimble. So some of the other cars have bigger wheels, bigger tyres, more equipment on board, and it adds weight. And to be fair, I just don't know what it is. I find these entry models, they're quicker to accelerate, they're always easier on fuel because they're carrying less weight. This is a no-nonsense, mile-munching car. It's nice to drive. There's a good level of equipment from what you've seen so far, but it's actually something that when you get onto a back road, makes you feel confident, and it's actually an enjoyable car to drive. And that's what this car is all about. Pragmatism. It can take 5 adults very comfortably. It's got a big boot. Like we're saying, it's got lots of features on the inside of the car. It's fuel efficient, and as I was saying to you, I just feel like these entry models, every car I've ever sold, I always found the standard model was actually the nicest car to drive. Anyway, if you want more information on the car, trade-ins, finance, scrappage, any of that kind of stuff, Brian is my name, 086 843 1945. Give me a shout. Thanks for watching.